Let's get it cracking as we do so well. Appreciate y'all for tuning in to another morning show. It's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Getting ready for another day of sports talk. Y'all know how we do. Question on the table today. Did the Chicago Bears improve yesterday? Made a couple of signings. Linebacker Nicholas Morrow and offensive lineman Lucas Patrick. Also, overtime rules that I might be in favor of. Let's talk about that a little bit as well. On the flip side, Kyrie Irving going off for 60. You know, that's going to get into a little bit of this whole why can he sit on the bench but not playing the game conversation. Get ready for that. And then we got to update y'all on the sports bracket. And then we got to update y'all on the movie bracket. We're going to do all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Live. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel that's talking Chicago sports, how Chicago talks. Make sure you get in tune with it. In the building.
What's good, baby?
What's cracking? Let's get this mug busting off, man. How y'all feeling this morning, man? Feeling good. I'm intrigued by what the Bears are doing. I'm in a good mood today. Got some running around to do. Got some business that I got to take care of. But today is a good day. How you feeling today, my boy? Just waking up in the morning, gotta thank God.
Hey man, listen. I was on a fence with what Pose was doing. Then all of a sudden I saw, hey man, Lucas Patrick. Didn't know who he was at first. Then I saw him. I was like, oh, I know who that guy is.
He's the Packers version of Jonathan Noteboom to me.
Yeah,
like he's the guy we wanted, except we got to see him twice a year.
Yeah, and we didn't get to touch Aaron Rodgers a whole lot. So
yeah,
I'm confident in that. You know, just steal everybody from the Packers. Why not? I think Pose went out there and was like, hey, listen, you got a chance to make a real big name over here. You come here and perform, and he got him. So, you know,
and the exciting thing about it to me is that when you're looking at the moves as we welcome in Stefan Nadon to the chest. Steph, what's good?
What's good?
How you feeling, my boy?
Man, my camera is dark. Hold on, let me fix this real quick. I'm looking real dark over here. Good Lord.
So, question to the chat, to my brothers here. Did the Chicago Bears improve yesterday with the signings that they made?
Yes. On offense, I believe they did, and I got some stats. I got some stats for everybody. Hold on.
Coming with the information.
Let me pull this up right quick. So, okay. So, in terms of Luke, and in terms of Patrick from the Packers. I forgot buddy name just that
Lucas
quick.
Patrick. It only says it on the screen right there.
Yeah, Lucas Patrick. I knew that. So basically, in 2 seasons,
I'm disrespecting the offensive linemen out here, man.
The 2 seasons that he actually played, only 8 penalties. Yeah. Only 8 penalties, right?
Yep.
But that's honestly that's not even what I'm tripping over, right? So 2 seasons, only 8 penalties. Also, in the 2 seasons that he played, the percentage of snaps, 2020, 90%. Even last year, 82%. What does that mean? He don't come off the field.
Yeah.
Buddy is durable.
Yeah.
But Buddy is big, durable, no penalties. That's what the Bears needed on the offensive side of the ball. Now, in terms of Morrow, Not a lot of great numbers in terms of tackles, but if you put him on the side of Roquan, last 2 seasons,
Yeah.
70% of the snaps played. This last year, 75% of the snaps played. So you got two guys that don't really come
Well,
off the field.
2021, he was out with that foot injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, listen,
But,
I liked it. I liked that Poles went out and got durable guys, right? I think
Yeah.
that's important for you to go get. The question to me is an interesting one. Did the Bears improve yesterday? Because of this reason, right? You got a lot of what we're seeing, right, is replacement pieces. So you're talking about a piece that comes in and might be able to play a little bit more than Danny Trevathan in why can't I think of the boy name now? Doggone. Good Lord. Chat. Hey, it's early. The coffee is in there. Don't worry about it. Nicholas Morrow. There you go. And Nicholas Morrow, who can kind of replace Danny Trevathan. And then you've got Lucas Patrick coming in and being able to replace James Daniels. But I think on the offensive side of the ball, you got marginally better, right? Because on the offensive line spot, Lucas Patrick, the enticement for me is not that he's coming here to play guard, but you've got somebody who was already working with Luke Getsy that understands the Packers system, who can also play center. And that's a position that you struggled at as well. To me, I say this is the situation where, and I understand it could ruffle some feathers, it can change some things up, but listen, y'all sucked last year. Your feathers need to be ruffled a little bit. I think you move Cody Whitehair back to his original position, let him play that guard position. You let Lucas Patrick come in and at least compete for the starting center position because he's already ahead of the game. And I'm going to tell you this right now, that man is a mauler, bro. You can tell the identity that Ryan Pace is trying to build in this offensive line.
What is he competing for?
Ryan Poles is trying to build in this offensive line.
What is he competing for?
Whitehair's already the starting center. You know what I'm saying? I feel like veteran, you know how they do football relationships. You give them the opportunity to win the job. But if
you had
Lucas
your opportunity
Patrick
to win a job.
You said what?
You had your opportunity to win a job. Here's clearly in today's world. You know what? I understand how that works, but for me, I looked at his resume. I was like, yeah, that dude he's a center. That's what I immediately thought, simply because he also can think the game. And I think the center is top 5 positions of the cerebral side of the field.
Gotta be.
Right? Because so, I told and it's like I was telling Pat, like you see these mugs, like I'll take the coach for example, like I was telling him Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly, like when you get up to the line, whoever they get, like they decipher the information. So technically, they essentially should know the play better than you do.
Yeah.
So it's like you only tell them mugs, where to be at, what spots they should be at, and you feel me? He just finishing off the play. So I mean, if he come in and he doing that, and you gotta remember who Patrick was right by.
Yeah.
Not this last season because he got hurt, but the season before that. You right next to Bakhtiari. I'm soaking up all the information I can.
Absolutely.
So you factor Bakhtiari in with Getsy coming over. Now we starting to see the O-line get right. Hey, and look, what this tells me is we got a lot of faith in Tevin Jenkins.
A lot of faith in Tevin Jenkins, brother.
He's absolutely gonna get right. And you feel me? After that, it's gonna be up from there. So hey, they looking like we already got the pieces that we need. So,
but now here's the thing, right? So
like I said, side of the ball,
you essentially got these guys to replace guys that you're either letting go or moving on from, or just to get these guys to fit the more 4-3 kind of defense, right? And you get them at a discount. So that's the amazing thing, right? You get Lucas Patrick in here for 2 years, $8 million with $4 million guaranteed. That could be your starting center moving forward. At least that's your hope. Now, granted, he's on a prove it deal. Good Lord, did y'all hear that?
No, so we all good.
Oh, Jesus
What is
Christ.
your
My dogs just decided they were going to attack something up there. Hopefully not each other. But here's the biggest question that I have with it. Are they improving or are they adjusting? Because really, you're talking about getting guys in here that play the 4-3 more consistently, but you're also letting guys go. You let James Daniels go. Whether we like him or not, whether we like his attitude or not, I don't know if you improved at offensive line. You kind of made a lateral move. You've got guys in there that have had similar production at that position on the line, and you hope that he can come in and play center. On the defensive side, you're getting in the line. Why can I not remember this man's name? No, Nicholas Morrow. You're getting in Nicholas Morrow from Oakland, but you're letting go of other linebacker pieces that were already there in the 3-4 that played moderately decent for you. You know what I'm saying? So, like, is it a improvement or is it more of a lateral transition?
It's improvement because it's in alignment with what the coach is trying to do. And so when you have your head coach and your GM and those players all in alignment, right? It's an unstoppable force. And any team that we've seen get their whole organization in alignment and in step has had some success. And success is not always Super Bowl, but it is, a really good team in development and things of that nature. And right now, that's what I see. So for me, coming from the Matt Nagy era, the alignment in itself makes it a better team. And so it's an improvement from that regard. We get the right pieces we feel comfortable with the right attitudes, the know-how, and everyone's come and chasing the same goal collectively, then I think it's an improvement just simply because of that.
And I think the biggest thing they talked about, I'm gonna go back to it. They said balance offensively, just running the ball and passing the ball. Now we got yet to see what they do with wide receiver moves. I just saw yesterday Jakeem Grant went to the Browns. So yeah.
Okay.
But I mean if you look at it, I mean, like I said, you got Monty, you got Herbert. Now you got that line kind of taking shape, and like I said, a lot of faith in Tevin Jenkins. About where these guys go. Hey, look, the reason why I keep bringing this man's name up is it's going to hinge on this dude.
Tevin Jenkins. No, and here's the thing, right? My faith is not my issue with it is not that I don't believe Tevin Jenkins can't play. I want everybody to understand that because I know I'm the guy that keeps coming out and saying, yeah, I think that Tevin Jenkins can play. My fear with him is he going to be healthy? And you're relying on him to be your left tackle. That is other than the center, that's your most important position on that offensive line because that's the blind side for Justin Fields. So to me, right, I would rather have the stability at that position than to have the question mark there. I get you got to let them. Hey, listen, like I said with Cody Whitehair and Lucas Patrick, let them earn the job. Let them figure out what the heck's going on. If he can play it, he can play it. If he can't, he can't. But my biggest fear is that you're putting a lot of faith in a dude on the left side that has to protect your franchise quarterback. And you don't know whether he's going to be there for all of the games because in his last 2 seasons, he's been out with back injuries. And those dudes that are that big and in a legitimate car crash, if you look at the what is it? It's not centrifugal force. What is it? The G-force or whatever it is that they use to test car crashes that go through them players' bodies on every hit. It's a legitimate car crash every single play. You usually don't get healthier as your career goes on.
Should we be really going Terry and Armstead then, since we are O-line heavy? He's a left tackle. Clearly, like you said, second most important thing on the line. Yeah. Should we really be heavy on that one, considering he's still a free agent? Should we be throwing a bag, or is really his decision, in your opinion, left on where Deshaun Watson is going?
I think that, well, I don't think it's his decision on where Deshaun Watson is going because to me, even if Deshaun decides to go to New Orleans, they definitely can't pay him. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love. I feel like his decision is in New Orleans is made. Like they can't pay him that level of money and pay a starting quarterback. To me, the biggest thing with Terran Armstead is, can you convince him that you're doing something right to get him here? You got to understand, we're legitimately possibly prepared. Bears fans, be prepared for this. Next season might be ugly. Like, it might be a step in the right direction, but next season might be ugly. It might be a 7-win season. Now, as Don Burr enters the chat, the only thing that makes me feel better is I know they'll only have 5. Anyway, like, you're talking about possibly being 3rd in the division here, behind the Vikings. The Vikings have better weapons than us. They just do. Whether they have Kirk Cousins or not, the Vikings absolutely have better weapons than us. Behind the Packers, who we know that's a bad man up there. Let's not even cap on that. We know we're not there yet. And unless the Bears come out and show us something different, I'm preparing for a 3rd place finish next year. Like, so to me, you have to convince a guy who's 30 years old, I want you to come here. Essentially, we'll give you the bag, but you're probably wasting a year off of your NFL career when you've already had an injury last season. You're essentially wasting a year off of your career where we need you to wait for Justin to get good.
Tommy, Jakeem Grant already went to the Browns.
Yeah. And that's tough, right?
We were 8-8 last season.
You said what?
We were 8-8 last season.
We were 8-8 last season. No, we were 6-10.
Okay, I'll ask y'all this. I'll ask y'all
11
this.
last season.
And y'all opinion, cause like Joel said, it's gonna be a gang of free agents next year.
Yeah.
What is the minimum amount of wins for free agents to be like, yo, I need to at least take a look at Chicago?
I think coming into this year, if you had, it's not about the amount of wins, it's about how Justin Fields looks, right? You got players to go sign with. You got players to go sign with Joe Burrow this season, not this free agency, last free agency, because they looked at Joe Burrow and they was like, yo, that kid cold. No, they got something there. If him and Jamar figure that out, I want to go play there. Now you're just adding more pieces on. Grant, they go to the Super Bowl. Now you can get whoever you want, essentially. But even going into last season, you know what I'm saying? They signed the guy we just signed. They signed to a 1-year deal,
right?
And he was getting busy over there. Unfortunately, wasn't able to go deep in the playoff run because of the he had the foot injury. But
I mean, like, we end up worse than the Vikings, to be honest with you. I don't think we're going to be last. I don't think. I have to. I think
third. You think we're the second best team in the division right now?
Well, here's the thing. I have to be consistent. I have to keep us consistent. We can't have high faith in Justin and all that stuff and then say we're going to be last. If we made lateral moves, and even if you say, hey, we didn't improve, we made lateral moves, we were 8-8 or 6-11, whatever. If I'm supposed to believe that this kid is better than what he showed me, we should have more wins when he has more of a cerebral team around him, better coaching and things of that nature. I can't put him on this pedestal and then have such low expectation. I can't do it.
Well, I think it's about the talent around him, right? Like, we've seen good quarterbacks have bad seasons and play. We've seen good quarterbacks. We saw Deshaun Watson legitimately set the single season passing record. Or no, he didn't. Did he set it?
No, he set
the single season passing record, right?
He led the league.
He led the league. He led the league in passing. They won 4 games.
Yeah, but they took everything away from him.
No, I get you.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they took everything away from him, and his coaching wasn't aligned. He had it's me and y'all. That's what he had, right?
But what I'm saying is they went the other direction. I haven't seen anything on this roster to say we're not starting in that direction. He had Will Fuller. Will Fuller's a good talent, and then they got rid of Will Fuller. Halfway through the season?
Will Fuller got rid of himself because he decided.
This is true. This is true.
Even if we lose every game, you know what games we're going to absolutely win? Every game against the Lions.
Hey, you know what? I'll say this. I can guarantee you one thing.
We're going to beat the Lions.
We're going to beat the Lions.
All right.
Hey, look. The Lions are going to beat themselves. You know Jared Goff going to fumble it clean off his own face. Which is still one of the. Hey, if the butt fumble didn't exist, Jared Goff holds one of the worst fumbles in NFL history last season.
Man, I love these comments because y'all caught me on the right day. No one has Mitch on a pedestal.
Hey, listen.
Oh my
Hey,
God,
no one has Mitch on a pedestal.
Hold on. There's one person. Colin Cowherd has Mitch on a pedestal.
Hey, bro, you saw that yesterday?
Colin
Yesterday.
Cowherd think Mitch about to be Patrick Mahomes. How he
Colin
talks.
Cowherd, no, the difference between Colin and a lot of other analysts, and including what I've been trying to tell you all myself, is the kid's first couple of seasons, with all the things against him, looked a lot like some of the better QBs we've seen in this league. One who I would absolutely have traded Justin Fields to get. And that's what that clip I sent you, he goes down first 4 seasons in the league, and he compared them to Tannehill, Wilson, all the stuff. It was legit. Like, it was legit. You can't make it up. It's one thing to sit there and have a narrative that's based on opinion. It's another thing to have a narrative that's based in fact. Based in fact, he's a little better than what people give him credit for. That's all I've ever said. Now, the city believes that Justin's better than him. If I'm going to believe that he's better than him, which I'm fine with rolling with, I want him to be better.
Yeah.
We need to be better than 6 wins.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't.
It.
I don't know if that's the case because, like, let me tell Justin can play well, and there cannot be enough pieces on the defensive side of the ball that are talented enough to get the job done. Right? Like, we spent the bag on one player. We spent good money on our tackle position, our defensive tackle position. We're getting Morrow in here on a like, hey dog, come in here and prove it. You get $5 million. Figure out if you can play. Like, we're not throwing all this money into our defense to where I can say, yeah, we're gonna be exponentially better. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I don't care what the numbers say. I know what I saw with my eyes. There was a lot of touchdowns scored on us last year. The object of football is to keep people from scoring touchdowns.
I don't want them to
like the Bears' defensive numbers say a lot of things, right? But go look at how many touchdowns they allowed. This is not a good defense we're dealing with. This is not the same defense that we had in 2018, 2019. This is not even the same defense we had in 2020.
And I'll say this too. Like the stats is liars. Like Trayvon Diggs.
Jesus, the stats is liars.
the stats is liars. Trayvon Diggs had a good season interception wise. The man also gave up 1,500 yards.
Hey, he gave up a lot of yardage. It's impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like, I'm optimistic, but I'm not gonna say that the Bears are second because the Minnesota has talent that has played together for an exorbitant amount of years now. The last time I checked, the D line is still intact. You still got one of the best running back rooms.
Yeah.
With you talk about getting rid of running backs. This kid Nengaku is coming. From the backup position. Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. I'm not finna.
I love the kids in the middle of the show going at Muggs in the comments. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm multitasking today. I mean, hey, listen, they must not know that this is how I absolutely started the show. So, hey, I mean, we could do.
No, I will. Hey, listen. Kid has been consistent, right? Kid has been consistent. He's been in Mitch corner since day one. Came in first day and was like when the Bears were winning, was like, I think Nagy sucks.
Hey, but you know what though? I will say this to Buffer Kid's point though, and it's like Colin was saying yesterday. Mitch had a great defense when he was here. Now you just inherited a way better defense.
Yeah. Well, and this is the thing, right? This is
at minimum,
this is the part that I want people to actually
they should at least have 8 wins.
This is the part I want people to actually do. Don't just look at the numbers. Look at how he's actually playing as the barometer. Because I think Mitch can be that I think Mitch can be the game manager. I'm not saying Mitch is the worst quarterback in NFL history, but I don't think that Mitch improves if you try to put everything on his shoulders. I don't think that he's that quarterback that you can say, go out there and get me a dub. I think he's that guy if you got 2 minutes to go and he's driving down the field because he hasn't done nothing in the first 3 quarters.
I mean,
I
we
look at a lot
absolutely
of
seen him stare somebody down and throw.
I look at a lot of things and I say you can't just put everyone in a microwave. And that's where we are in today's league. It's a lot of kids coming out of college who are absolute studs. Joe Burrow came through stud.
Yeah.
You know, name another one. Justin Herbert came through stud. Like we're seeing a lot more of those players now.
Most of these young quarterbacks, Kyler Murray, most of these young quarterbacks coming out can play.
Now, mind you, in the history of football, we're talking about the last 4 or 5 years where we're in this like kids are coming in, they're ready to go, put them out there. Let's go.
Yeah.
It traditionally don't happen that way.
No, for sure.
And so what people need to stop saying is you can't determine, like on one end, we say, let them develop, they're young. Well, guess what? That happens even in football. Traditionally, that's what happens. Some people can get better with time and age. And so that's all I've ever said. Like give people the opportunity in the right situation to actually show you what they are. Now, by year 6, was it this year 6, fam? No, by year 6, if he's the same person, then I'm wrong, and I'm okay with being wrong.
Well, I think both things can be right? Like you can't beat the Bears and pay Mitch based on what you saw. Like you'd have had to pay him starting quarterback money.
And you didn't have enough. And here's the problem. If we still had Nagy, we would be in the same situation with Fields.
For sure.
Knowing Fields is a better talent.
For sure.
And we'd be like, but do we have enough to pay him? Do we see enough to pay him? The answer would be no.
Yeah.
Like if we had to judge quarterbacks off their first 2 seasons, he can have a phenomenal. Baker Mayfield is about to literally get moved off of Cleveland. He had a pretty decent career. Like he's not a game manager. Baker Mayfield is not a game manager. He's not. Baker Mayfield
he's above a game manager. You know what Baker is? Baker is Kobe White. If Baker's on, you feed Baker.
I can't go.
No, let me listen. He's a player that if he's hot, you go to him.
Baker before injury was an elite quarterback.
But Baker before injury also had those games where you would look at it and you'd be like,
I can't.
like you said with Jameis. What did you see there?
Y'all know how much I love Baker. Y'all know how much I love Baker. Hey, bro, I used to tell Pat, I'm like, bro, Baker about to be that dude.
See, the difference is there's levels to it, y'all. Like there's game manager. Like game manager to me is Jimmy Garoppolo.
20 passes is game manager.
Yeah, game manager to me is Jimmy Garoppolo. Like if I at no point in this game will I look to you to win the game for us. And if we're in a position where you have to win the game for us, we might be in trouble. Guess what? That's played out time and time again in Jimmy Garoppolo's career. Jimmy Garoppolo's a game manager. Ryan Tannehill, game manager, but a little bit above that because
Ryan
he's
Tannehill
had
was
games
game
where,
manager,
but it's about how much, right? So there's a level above game manager where, there's times where we definitely need you to be a game manager. There's times where you can go win us the game, but I would rather bet on you being a game manager than bet on you winning us the game because I've seen you not be able to win the game. I think that Mitch and Baker are kind of in that area right there. Like they're better than a game manager. I think they can do a little more than a game manager, but I don't want you to go out there and have to be the reason that we win the game, because if I put my team in that position, more times than not, we could lose the game. And I've seen us lose the game more times than not being in that position.
I think
I will say that I think Baker is a little bit more. Baker may be a little bit more of a game manager. I'll give you that. Because he has the arm and I've seen him make the throws.
Game managers to me are people who simply play it safe.
Mitch, I can't put Mitch in that category.
Nah,
I just can't because we've seen him against teams legitimately stare down the receiver and throw this man I mean, stare down the receiver and throw it to the defender.
We have seen that a lot.
Like we've seen that a lot.
I want to see him improve.
I'm not saying he's great.
Hey, we have seen it. Guess what? I've seen the best of the best do the same thing. I saw Tom Brady do it last season multiple times.
Damn, it's freaking Tom Brady.
Time out. You're not understanding what I'm saying. What I'm saying is those miscues and mishaps happen. And you can't sit there and say, well, we saw this.
Right,
guess what? You're going to see it.
Continuously happening.
Yeah.
All right. If you're not, listen, here's the thing. I'm not going to argue with you.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Bet. So shut it up. Because at this point,
argument.
I'm up for a healthy debate, but not when you're not open to the other side. Like I've been open to the other side to the point where I was like, yeah, this kid's bad. But then the more I look into it, I'm like, yo, how much of this is scheme? How much of this is him being put in the right position? And then you compare him to people who are put in the right position and scheme. And it's like, it's so many quarterbacks now who may have absolutely made the leap that we call game managers that are not game managers. Jimmy G's a game manager. I give him that. I don't know what the mass appeal about Jimmy G is other than he has great hair.
He wins games.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's the thing. You could have put any game man. You could have put Kirk Cousins on San Francisco. They win just as many games.
Yes.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid.
You could put anybody on that spot.
Kyle Shanahan would have took
better than average and who's going to give you. Hey, listen. And Jimmy G had a moment where he looked better than Aaron Rodgers going head up. He did. He had a moment. Hey, Chris, they started. Anyway,
it's never not sure we not.
Hey, the best part is like it just reminded me of like I think it was Chicago guards that he logged in one day and me and Joe was debating Jerry Rice numbers. He was like, "Did I just log in and we were debating Jerry Rice? What year is it?"
No, but I'm saying though, it's like I mean I hope he improves. I really hope Mitch improves.
Now my issue is who do we consider game managers nowadays? Like
Baker's not a game manager. Alex Smith is a game manager.
That's what I'm saying. There's levels to game manager.
Baker's a game manager for me.
No, everybody's not the same level, right? Like Kirk Cousins right now in the NFL is probably the best available game manager. Like Kirk is one of those players where it's like, Kirk, I need you to throw this 65 yards. I need you to hit him in the hands in stride for this game. And Kirk Cousins has the ability to do that. He don't always make the right decision with it, but he has the ability to do that. Alex Smith was a game manager that didn't have all of the ability. Alex Smith could dot you up and down the field. And he was going to make the right decision intellectually.
So
but
when you look at
he didn't
game
have the
managers,
arm strength to be like,
I look at Alex Smith. You say Jimmy. You can say Jimmy, who I think is all right. Jimmy G is a game manager, like realistically. You say Ryan Tannehill. I don't see it. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is a game manager. I think he's better than being a game manager. I really do. And like statistics kind of show it too. And his completion rate is like, nah. Like they're and game manager is really a derogatory term for a lot of football players, like for a lot of QBs. Like if you to be called a game manager means I am good enough to be in a jersey, but not good enough to get the acclaim. And it's like, I'm sorry, Ryan Tannehill was a little better than that. Baker Mayfield has star ability. Who else have we called a game manager? Like Tua would be a game manager.
No, Tua need to manage his game. Like Tua need to figure out what the heck's going on with his own career.
Hey, nah, all right. So I would say if it was me, I would say Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz is a game manager.
Jameis Winston.
I think it's too early for Jameis.
Hey, I don't.
Too early.
You know Jameis gonna slang that pill.
No, here's why I say it's too early.
By the way, that's who's going.
I'm listening.
That's who's going to the Colts. I calling that right now. That's who's going to the Colts.
I say too early because he didn't have an opportunity. He got injured relatively early in the season, and they were picking up steam, and he was in this little weird situation in New Orleans. But realistically, Jameis got some stuff. Like he had turnover problems, true, but like he has no problem airing that bad boy out. And if you work with the right team, I mean,
He just need glasses,
mess
bro.
out of that joint. Like, I really don't think he's he's either a really bad QB or a really good QB. He's not a game manager. That's just not his style. Like, he's not the safe bet for QB.
It's about how. Here's the thing, right? It's really about how the coach uses you, right?
Fitzy is weird though.
Kirk Cousins has
so weird.
Kirk Cousins has more ability than a game manager. But when you let him use all of that ability, when you let him just play his game, he can play you out of a game. So the coach
may into one too.
You said what?
He can play you into one too.
And that's the thing, right? That's why I say there's levels to game manager. Like there's levels to everything inside. Like even we talk about Hall of Famers, like all Hall of Famers ain't the same. There's levels inside the Hall of Fame. Deion Sanders is legitimately probably the best defensive player I've ever seen with my own two eyes. But
you want to know why I don't call Fitzy a game manager though? He said it himself. I've never had a team that was for me, and when I didn't have a chance to follow it through.
It's
that to me is different.
Now
Chicago, I'm not gonna give you that one.
Thing.
That boy got game.
This the thing.
Mac Jones is dangerous.
I can't say Fitzy didn't have a team for him because that team in Tampa Bay was what 9-1, 8-1.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was rolling with that team, and then at the end of the season, we absolutely watched Fitzy play them out of a lot of them games. Like he had that team. Because it was him. Who was it? Chris Godwin was there. He was wearing Chris Godwin.
It was like him, rookie Chris Godwin.
Yeah, dog. Like they had a squad.
I don't know if they had Mike Evans yet, but I know they had Levante David.
Hey, and they also had no defense.
Yeah, they just had Levante. It was Levante David and the rest of the nobodies.
But to me, Fitz is an example of what happens when you let the player that probably needs to be managed do whatever he does on the field. Like you make the decisions, you're good enough for this. Because there's times where Fitzy legitimately in Tampa, Fitzy won them multiple games. Like he was the reason they won. Like without him, they lose the game.
And then
hey, look, and then at the end of that season, there was times in Tampa where it was like, Fitzy, stop throwing the ball, brother. Like, where are you going right now? Fitzy went from Brady to Winston real quick, is what I'm saying.
Bro, honestly, bro, you fix Jameis by getting that man glasses. All you gotta do is get him some glasses. He'll be all right.
He got LASIK.
Bro, nah, that man. Forget the LASIK. He need glasses. You get him glasses.
That'll be wild. He get the kicker joints.
Bro, I'm telling you, he gonna be like Wild Thing out here. As soon as he get the glasses, he gonna be throwing dots. I'm telling you.
Jameis Winston, I mean, I can't say he's a game manager. I think that he had some early on success. Then he had a historic dip. I don't even know how to. I think that has to be the worst season I've ever seen in my life.
Like I said, it's about how the coach
plays.
Right? So
season we've ever
Sean
seen.
Payton managed him last year. Like Jameis would lead a game with like 15 throws, 181 yards. Like we're calling us game managers based on how the coaches use them, but a lot of times it's about how they're best used. Like I've watched Kirk Cousins play the Vikings out of many a game when they had to rely on his arm. And I've watched the Vikings rattle off 6 straight wins when they've said throw the ball or you throw the ball 15 to 20 times, Delvin Cook's getting 25 touches. You know what I'm saying? So like it's about how they're used, but I think we call them as game managers based on how they're best used. Like Kirk Cousins has the ability to be better than a game manager.
Kirk Cousins statistically is not a game manager at all.
I mean, if you base it off of that, you wouldn't call Alex Smith a game manager.
I did, and I do, because I looked at Alex Smith's stats, and they don't compare to Kirk Cousins. I already did that part, dog. Alex Smith had a good moment, but he ain't Kirk Cousins. He just not.
I mean, I'd say he's better than Kirk Cousins.
I say he had a shot.
Oh, he definitely better than Kirk Cousins, seeing as how he's been at least to the AFC title game and NFC title game and Super Bowl, right? No, he didn't play.
I would say that Alex Smith has had a better team each time. I would say most of the
Kirk
Alex
got a
Smith
pretty good
teams.
team, my boy.
Okay, pretty good versus a team being better. Guess what? You know, for all intents and purposes, Derek Carr has a pretty good team, but I mean, all the people he went up against just had a slightly better team. So it just is what it is. Speaking of which, where does Derek Carr land?
I'm just saying, like, you know, you're talking about. Hold on.
Derek Carr is one of those people who, like, absolutely, I keep hearing it should maybe on the move or something like that. Where does he go?
I don't think he's on the move.
Hey,
I don't know.
If he's smart,
I heard it like
if he does,
listen, if he's smart, he get the heck out of Oakland.
Hey, go to the Colts.
If he's smart, he get the heck out of Oakland, my
Go
boy.
to the Colts.
Because good Lord, that man is about to get lit up down in Oakland, my boy.
He's gonna be like his brother.
Oh yeah. Oh dog. Listen, you got Mack and Bosa coming at you, and then you possibly got who they just signed? They just signed Gregory and Vaughn might be coming back.
Bro,
hey, listen,
they
you're not having a good day out west.
They about to have that man looking like last year Eli. That man, as soon as they snap the ball,
Vegas. My bad. Vegas. I went back, didn't I? Yeah, get the heck out of Vegas, brother.
We know who it is.
I'm gonna tell you that right now. Get the heck out of Vegas, brother. That's not a good. It's not gonna end well for you.
People call Derek Carr a game manager. He is absolutely not a game manager.
Nah, Derek Carr is better than a game manager.
Carr to Seattle.
Derek Carr can win you games. The problem with Derek Carr is Derek Carr has to win them games.
Derek Carr give you like 5 games. They go 5-0. You'll be like, hey, he might be up for MVP. And then after that.
Nah, you know what?
Derek Carr game manager changed when I saw Patrick Mahomes have moments where I was just like, dude, what the heck are you doing? And then Aaron Rodgers had the same moments in the same season. I was like, dude, where the heck are you throwing? Like, I never thought I'd see Patrick Mahomes have the meltdown he did them last 2 minutes. I was like, this is weird. This is weird.
Oh,
he had all the room to run too.
I did, because it's about when you get the pressure on you, what do you fall back on? Patrick Mahomes' calling card is that he could throw a football like a baseball. Like, that's how a lot of his like, you look at a lot of his passes, like, yeah, he's got the ones where he's standing back there, he's technically right, he's doing everything right, hits him in the hands. Pat Mahomes being amazing is based on the fact that he can throw that mug at any arm angle, and that mug is going to get to the receiver. The problem is that's very hard to do.
Almost at the same speed if he wanted to be.
It's very hard to do when you got no tackles to keep the defense off of you. Like, them last 2 minutes was absolutely the Bengals defense getting the job done, because Pat Mahomes, every play was like, "Say what?
What play you watch? He was back there camping out."
You said what?
Hey, what plays did you watch? He was back there camping out them last couple plays. He had room to run.
He was making time. He was making defenders miss.
Bro, Trey Henderson absolutely blew up. He absolutely blew up Chris Humphrey.
That's a fact, dog. Hey, I'd say shortstop. I would say shortstop, bro. I've seen Pat Mahomes lay horizontal and throw a football 60 yards and hit Tyreek Hill in the face.
He a third baseman. He got to be a third baseman.
I don't know, dog. That man's out here like a shortstop, dog.
When I rewatched that thing in slow motion and you look at when the ball was released, it's literally half a second before he hits the ground. And you look at the trajectory, it has to go up and drop.
Yeah.
And he's like doing it. I was like, dog, that has to be the best pass I've ever seen. Like, just the best incompleted pass I've ever seen. How about that?
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, Deshaun Watson has a pass very similar with his left hand.
With his left hand.
The weird thing is, I think like Patrick Mahomes is like John Morant to me, in the sense like his misses are like, bro, if he would have made that.
Yeah, I can see that. That's a good comparison. Right. Like his miss, like when he dunked over a dude,
bro,
like the charge on it.
like fam, like how you do realize, bro, if he made some of them dunks, those are like.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of AI. Like, remember how AI would have like a putback dunk? AI used to have like putback dunks all the time from the free throw line. And I was like, y'all can't keep up with this man. But he would get lane violations for him. So like it don't count. But if you go, if you like you had to be there because they don't put him in the highlight reel. But if you watch him, like there's one, I don't know if it's Dikembe. One of them like huge.
He dunked on Dikembe. He used
Dikembe,
he rose up
go
on
up for the board and he just come through one hand and put that mug back and yam it over his head. And you see Dikembe like do all but it was a lane violation. And so it don't count. But I'm like, bro, he just climbed Mount Matumbo and ain't nobody gonna give him credit for it. Like oh man, hey, we appreciate y'all for pulling in and rocking with us, man. We got 113 in the building. We got interesting football news as well on the other side of this thing, man. So hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. We're gonna switch topics a little bit. I think the Bears did improve, even if slightly. We'll see how it translates to the field, though. Here's a question for you, right?
What's up?
Did you guys see the new proposals for overtime rules?
I saw it.
So let me pull them up here. Hold on. I know I gotta pull up the old retweets here.
Are they good? Are they good? Are they bad?
There's one. So there's one that to me is just almost got myself canceled. There's one that to me that is just dumb because I don't believe that it gives the defense the opportunity to be a good defense, right? Like you're devaluing the defense, and to me, I'm just not willing to do that. So the one that the Eagles, and I'm gonna try and put it up here as well. The one that the Eagles and the Colts have proposed, you allow both teams an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime. The one that we've all argued, right? The one that, to me, if you do something dumb like that, like we allow both teams to possess the ball in overtime, it doesn't. You're basically saying that defense doesn't matter. And if you go down that path, all right, then let's just not even. We don't care about defense then. But the Tennessee Titans proposal intrigues me because I think it doesn't take away from the defense. It actually, to a point, makes you have to have without a shadow of a doubt, prove that your defense is good. So, and let me pull this up here. Bow, we're going to share the screen. The big Lebowski out here. Stop playing with your boy. Don't worry about that, man. Bow. And hold on. Dang, that's gone. There we go. So, the Tennessee Titans rule. Let's get us on the side over here. Allow both teams an opportunity to possess the ball in overtime unless with the first possession, the team scores a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion. I like this because now if you can't stop me on a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, you don't deserve the ball. You suck. You know what I'm saying? Like
brother, this guy.
Legitimately, bro. Like if
that doesn't make sense.
Okay. The only reason why I don't like I like it, but I don't like it is because the 2-point you at the 2.
So
no, it's a disadvantage for the first.
So you change where the 2-point conversion is.
Okay. Now we're here.
I'm not putting it that far back. Listen, you can't stop me at the goal line 2 times. That's on you. You need to get a better defense. But I'm saying put it at the 5, put it at the 7, something like that.
Put it at the 10.
No, because no one's ever gonna do it though. You do realize that, right?
No,
why wouldn't
that second one? If they move the 2-point back to like the 5 or something or the 10,
let's walk through the scenario.
Now we in business.
Let's walk through the scenario.
10 is too
Let's
far.
say me and Steph are playing. Steph's the Giants. I'm the Bears.
Right.
Steph scores, but doesn't make the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I go down the field. I score and I kick a field goal. I won.
Right. So
Which means that he shouldn't have went for the 2-point conversion. If he just scored and had the touchdown and just played and just played it out, it's either a tie game and we keep moving, or he wins.
Well,
It's the best of the both. It's the best of the option. If I go for that 2-point conversion and I miss it, and he just walks down the field and keeps it makes no sense. I would never do that.
But this is the thing, right? This is why I say this puts it on defenses still being good, right? Because right now everybody has a problem with the fact that the team wins a coin toss, they go down the field, they score a touchdown, they win. If I feel my defense is good enough, guess what? I'm going for 2 to try and seal the game. If I feel like my defense is okay, I'm going to kick the field goal because now you have to go for 2 to win the game. And you have to get down the field. If I feel like my defense is dominant, I'm going for 2 every time. Like legitimately, like if you're the Tennessee Titans, right? I'm going for 2 every single time because I know that on the other side, I've got a team that defensively can hold it down, and I should be able to rely on them. If you're one of the top defenses in the league, you've got that. And if you're not, guess what? First off, build a better defense. That's on you. You shouldn't be in an overtime game anyway. I'm not worried about you being in the playoffs. And it's a strategic thing. Kick the field goal. Secure that. But then you have to have your defense stopping mugs going the other way. I'm not in favor of any rule that devalues the defense. And saying that allow both teams the opportunity to possess the ball in overtime means that the first team's defense doesn't matter. Only the team that scores the ball, their defense matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not for that. Defense is half of the game. You legitimately have to have good, like the Bills.
I like the Eagles better.
Nah.
I like the Eagles better simply because if I score, no matter what I do, you have the opportunity to match it. If you can't match it, game's over. I appreciate that. But the Titan situation sets up for too many wonky situations where the team going for the win doesn't get the 2-point conversion, but the other team who played it
you got to get a stop
smart at that point. You got
to get a stop.
You got to get a stop.
The only reason why I see your point, kid, is because of the simple fact. All right, say me and you playing, and then like you feel me. You go down. You possess the ball first, and we both getting the ball. You score 3, I score 7. Game over. That's basically what that is. But
it's not even statistically even.
With Pat, I like that because, fam, he's right. You're trash. If you can't, if I go down, we both possess the ball. We both possess the ball, or I possess the ball, and I score a touchdown. But you can't stop me on the 2-pointer. Now I agree. If they bag the 2-pointer up,
like y'all
bag the 2-pointer up, I'm with the rule.
I disagree with that.
Y'all understand, right? Like that when you're trying to run, move it to the 5. You understand that to get to the end zone, that's still, even if I get a ball to Derrick Henry, he's got to go 8 yards because he's coming from the backfield. Like it's not an easy touchdown. And defense is way tougher closer to the end zone than it is with open field because there's less room for me to make a move. So like I feel like you're in actuality increasing the difficulty on that last one.
That's
like
I feel like I would beat you. I would beat you 80% of the time
on a 2-point conversion.
I feel like I would beat you, and here's why.
If the numbers were that high, Muggs would never not go for a 2-point conversion.
I'm sorry.
They would never not go for.
You have to look at the why I'm saying it. The success rate of a 2-point conversion is around 45%. The success rate of a 1-point conversion is 93%.
Right.
Numbers will tell me that if I score first it's easier for me to kick this field goal and get a stop where you have to march down the field as opposed to you trying to score in the red zone twice.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, that doesn't mean that my defense is weak or sorry. Realistically, I'm also looking at time on the field for those players. That
Yeah,
just, I mean, the intensity is more, but I mean, good Lord, we're
but if
talking
you're,
about a very physical game.
I get
This-
you, but if you're a good defense, your time on the field is less. If you're a good defense, your time on the field is
not in this era of football where the offenses are as powerful as they are. Like
offenses.
that ideology would have made sense 5 years ago,
But
but
here's the thing,
now I don't see that.
even with the offenses as powerful as they are, who has the success rate? Who has the advantage on the success rate for 2-point conversions? The defensive side.
Right now is leaning.
You said it's 40. You said it's 45% success rate. That's
45%.
That means the defense has a higher success.
That's on average. Last season it was 49.5. There is a slim advantage. And guess what? Rules have absolutely leaned more toward the offensive side of the ball. So now that we're going that way, it's not really more of an advantage.
Even that, okay, you got a 50-50 shot. You got a 50-50 shot to win the game.
Football thing. I think it's just it's a dumb rule that just is going to lead to more injury and confusion.
Here's the thing. I like the OT rule the way it is. The Bills had the best defense in the NFL. That was their best chance at winning the game. I like the rule the way it is. If your defense ain't good enough, get a better defense. Build a better defense. Like, I'm sorry that the Bills got run off of the field because their defense couldn't get a stop, but the defense gets paid as well. Like, I'm not devaluing the defense by saying, well, they really didn't have a chance there, so the offense should get a chance to run down. You know, no, your defense had a chance to absolutely win the game. You know what that chance is? You stop Pat Mahomes from moving up and down the field. Now, whether that's hard or not, I'm sorry to let y'all know the NFL is hard. Like that to me, like, I'm not putting in a rule that devalues the defense's input on the field. If I run down on you and I score a touchdown and then I score a 2-point conversion, your defense ain't good enough. Now, I'll give you this, right? Because the field goal don't even matter right now. If you score a touchdown right now in this rule, it's over. The game's over. In this situation, say a big play does break off. Pat Mahomes drops back, broken coverage, dots it up deep to Tyreek Hill. He runs in, game-winning touchdown, game's over. Now he has to go down there, and in a closer situation where both teams have a 50-50 shot at this based on the statistics last season, he's got to do it again. You got to find that open guy again. You got to find that open guy when, guess what? I know you're throwing to the end zone no matter what. Yep. It still values the defenses to me. It still values the defenses to me. And if we go with the rule of just everybody gets to touch the ball, then you're looking at values of, all right, yeah, y'all kind of matter, but like if y'all get beat, it don't matter.
The good thing, I feel like the good thing about this is the fact that at least mad people is calling for the rule change. So it's like even if you do, because it'll boost the entertainment value, even though they don't really need it. But at the same time, I feel like this is like, okay, the defense get a fair check, the offense get a fair check, and it's like you said, if the big play break off, at the end of the day, we know he got to go to the end zone to win the game.
He's got to do it again. Hey, listen, big play broke off.
I don't think so. At the end of the day, you know what that tell me. But you know what that tell me though. It's exactly like we get down there, and then it's like it was the same thing with Eli Apple, Cooper Kupp. We're going head up. You know where I'm going. I'm better than you in this situation. If you think you're better than me, stop me.
And here's the thing: we're only thinking about it from one side, right? We're not thinking like we get this is my problem with it. We don't give the defense a chance in this scenario, right? In our minds, we're like, yeah, you got to make a 2-point conversion. Okay, they make it. I do agree with Steph. They got to move the ball to a different spot for it. I think you move it to the 5 or you move it maybe to. I think the 10 is too far.
The 10 is cool. The 10 is cool because if you put it at the 2. If you put it at the 2, you right there. That's cute.
No, you can't put it at the 2 because then Derrick Henry wins the game for you. To me, the 5 is a good spot because in actuality, if my quarterback drops back, now he's making a 10, 11-yard pass.
Yeah.
If I got to run the ball, it's an 8-yard run because he's 3 yards in the backfield deep already. You know what I'm saying? So things like that to me play into it. But what we're not giving credit to is like if the defense gets the stop, now Kansas City defense got to stop Buffalo. Now Kansas City defense has value again. Get y'all butts back on the field and make a stop.
I don't know if it's devaluing one side of the ball or the other. I just don't think that, by saying, hey, if I score and get this 2-point conversion, you don't deserve to be on the field anyway. That's not true. That like literally you have to be able to stop me too. And that's what makes basketball in some people's opinion, such a more fascinating, game to watch, because you can't just go out there and drop 50 and not stick defense. Because if you drop 50, but your opponent drops 50, guess what? It's like it's
true.
You can, but I mean, realistically,
listen, you can't. We've seen a lot of people drop. Hey, listen. Ish Smith absolutely got a 50-point game. Not doing a lot of stopping on the other side.
I give you that one. I walked that one back. Each team just having an opportunity to score is good enough for me. I don't think there should be if I get a 2-point conversion, that means nothing. It means nothing to me, to be honest with you.
So to me,
because the other team, Buffalo, I mean, you mean to tell me Buffalo in that game, because everyone's really just talking about because of KC and Buffalo.
Yeah, KC and Buffalo. That's why
that's all we really talking about, which probably will never happen again. So I don't know why we're doing all this game changing for one game. Like it probably never happened again.
No, it's happened a lot in the last few years. That's why Tennessee got beat by Tom Brady off of it. And Tennessee got beat by Patrick Mahomes off of it too, didn't they? 2 years ago?
Did they?
Yeah.
They scored a touchdown?
Same thing.
Tennessee
they got the ball and just dotted their way down the field. And I think Tom Brady won a game off of that 3 years. Like it's something that's becoming more prevalent in the playoffs because you usually got 2 high-powered offenses. But all of the rule changes to me are catered towards the offense. All of the rule changes to me are being put in for the offense. And the game is going to a more offensive game. But you still can't forget, they got to score. KC got beat by Brady on that. That's what it was. Yeah. KC got beat by Brady on that. And I think Tennessee had one too. I think it was the same playoffs.
No, because Tennessee was like, Tennessee was running them out the building.
Yeah, I think it was the same playoff.
That was the Derrick Henry jump pass for the touchdown. Yeah. The only reason why I gotta agree with Pat, and I'm gonna leave it at this. Pat, how many points can you score? Like total on an offensive, like if you have ball.
If I have the ball, total? You talk about in football?
Yeah, like how many?
8.
It's 8 points, right?
Yeah.
It's 8 points.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it. If I get 6 and then get 2 and you can't stop me, the game is over.
And I like that it's not if you make a field goal as well. Now I will say a novelty idea. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody commented it in here. Where is that? I love that we get enough comments in the daily show that I actually can't find it. By the way, hit that like button if y'all in here, man. Subscribe to the page. We do this every day. I can't find the comment, but somebody said
about the kickoff.
The kickoff. I ain't gonna lie to you. I kind of like that because now it bring a little more value to special teams in here. I kind of like that one. You gotta have the best kicker in it. And here's the thing, right? Now you possibly keeping 2 kickers because you get halfway through and you got that dude that can only make it from like 52, but then you got one dude that can kick it from 70, but he's not really a great kicker, but he can just hit that mug from 70. Now you got 2 kickers on the team. That'd be hilarious.
The backup just played rugby for no reason.
Dominic says, what if the first possession team gets pick 6? Then what happens? Does the team still get another chance? No. That's it.
But they still got to get that 2 point.
No, you don't. Pick six. Well, I don't know. I don't know how Tennessee's writing this in, but I would assume pick six ends the game right
that'll
now.
be dope because if you get the 6, you still
because then your offense get another shot at it. Now you don't get 2 shots in overtime.
You
brother.
can't get two offensive
You don't get 2
shots.
shots in
You
overtime.
turned the ball over.
Okay, well, then that's the play.
Throw a better pass.
If they saw the pick, it's game.
Throw a better
Hey,
pass.
Mark, I'm actually in line with you. I didn't like the fact that Tom Brady won Super Bowls off field goals. I didn't like the fact that games were decided in overtime by field goals. Once they removed that, I am good. Loved it, loved every bit of it. And at this point, okay, hope everything's all right. And at this point, that's where I'm on. It's sudden death. It's already hard enough to score a touchdown as it is. I don't know why we make it seem as if this is just like hitting a 3-pointer. No, it's not. It's hard to get down this field. That's it. This should be this. I don't know why we blowing this up bigger than it is. Hey, listen, it was a great game. I get it. We wanted to see more of Allen and Mahomes. Guess what? He scored in 14 seconds. 14 freaking seconds.
The game
Guess
is going
what?
in an offensive direction.
I don't want no more of that. You couldn't stop me in 14 seconds. That's on you.
And I think the difference is, like, y'all got to remember, overtime in the playoffs is different from overtime in the regular season. Overtime in the regular season, you don't get the job done after 12 minutes, y'all tied.
That ain't
overtime in the playoffs, you keep going.
You keep going.
Yeah. So it's very different. So it wouldn't be like the games are getting mad lengthy. They get we got a 7-hour game going on here. Like, I don't think it's that. And here's the other thing, right? Y'all, I want y'all to understand this. Rule changes are necessary. Because if you don't evolve, you will die. I.e. baseball. I'm okay with looking at rule changes, especially with the overtime rule and stuff like that, because if you do not evolve, you will die.
Hey, that universal DH though.
Finally. Why is it 15 years after somebody finally first said it? Finally. Why am I watching Bartolo Colon swing at the plate just in case he might touch the ball and hit? Shit, dog, what are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Like, and that's the thing, right? You have to evolve with where your audience is going. I don't subscribe to the theory that you have to keep the old fans in mind, because you know what's gonna happen to the old fans?
They're gonna die.
They die. Guess what? My grandfather was an avid keep baseball the same. My grandfather's no longer with us.
I was about to say, I thought you were about to say, don't say it as hard as you
no.
I thought you were about to say, he died. I was like, God dang,
he was an avid, don't change the DH rule. Pitchers pitch and hit in the NL. It shouldn't change. I like the separation of it, because remember, it was 2 leagues.
You good.
So like, to me, like, he's not here no more. Unfortunately, you kept him in mind, and he can't watch the games no more. So, like, you have to evolve with what is happening now. I like that the NFL, the NBA, heck, even the NHL is willing to look at their rules and say, the world is changing, things are different. How do we add something to the game to make it exciting? Now, in the NBA, it's a little bit more, we're going to let you travel, which is kind of annoying. Hey, because I don't care what you say. This move here is a travel. You can't.
Hold on, wait. Do that again. Did you bounce it? That's a live dribble. That's not a travel.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a live dribble. That's not a travel.
No.
Hey, I literally just watched a clip of Steph Curry doing this like multiple toe tap thing in between live dribbles to get his shot off. I was like, I didn't even realize he did it.
No, now this is the thing, right? You can, like how Steph does it, as long as your hand's not above the ball or on, what is it? It's not on the ball, right? Like, if you let it free, you can take as many steps as you want and it's not a travel. That's always been a rule. But how James Harden do it, Harden cuffed that mug to come back, take his steps, and then he dribble forward, take another step. You're like, wait a minute, dog. Like,
I have to admit that the interpretation of your hand can't be on the ball made no sense to me.
That's so weird, though.
So I'm being back in the day, like y'all remember the stutter step that we grew up on?
The sham guy.
The sham, all that. Well, the sham guy was one thing, but it was a stutter step.
Yeah.
Like you go like that. When that first came out, people was like, "That's a travel." It's not a travel. And my dribble's still live. I could take 1,000 steps in between these dribbles if I want to, if you can't stop it, right? But here's the thing. What's considered the zero step is the one that gets me. When my both
let's
hands
introduce
hit the
the old guy to the chat.
Both hands hit the ball.
Let's introduce the old guy to the chat for this conversation. As we got the super producer Joel Holt entering the building.
He knows exactly where I'm going. When this happens, that's not a zero step. That's my first step. 1, 2. No, this is 0.
Hey.
So now it's 1, 2, 3, and that's legal. That's dog.
The gather step, bro. I swear. You know what I respect though? You know what I respect? That if you go to a real like court and try to do that mess, like if you at an indoor court and they got refs, they might let you get away with it. You go to a real court and try to do that mess, boy, ain't nobody finna give you that half step extra.
All right, so this is where I gotta
give you that half step extra. Oh, Rodney, it's all good, bro. My grandfather unfortunately been gone for a little while now. But I was just using him as an example of like dying fans that like.
It's a tough example, Pat. I ain't gonna lie.
But hey, I hope somebody from MLB hears it and it hits home. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because they always talk about you can't forget about the old fans. The old fans die. Listen, baseball legitimately is still marketing a game that plays well on radio.
I don't get it. I
there's radio calls of baseball games that are better than what I watch on TV.
I honestly feel like they should just allow steroids.
Me too. Go back to steroids.
You can't
bring them.
Hey, listen.
Remember, see, this is the thing, right? Remember, before you probably know you wasn't paying attention. Before Spider Tack came in, the home run numbers were up because baseball changed the ball. And so it was allowing the home run numbers to go up, and the pitchers were complaining about it. So then the pitchers, to combat that, started using Spider Tack.
Steroids. Bring it back.
Steroids. Hey. I grew up in a steroid era.
Hey, listen. You didn't need steroids for this ball. When I tell y'all, legitimately on the same team, Aaron Judge had like 50 home runs, and Giancarlo Stanton had like 55. Like everybody was hitting home runs. You didn't
know.
Like,
but the crazy part about it is they don't remember this was the year after Giancarlo hit like 63.
Yeah, it was the year. It was the year after he had a steroid, or not a steroids year. He was with the Marlins, and Derek Jeter owned him and was like, "Yeah, let's trade everything we got of talent to the Yankees." Like, wait a minute, dog, hold on, brother.
Oh yeah, they paid him for that.
Hey, listen, hey kid, and now he stepped down,
fleeced.
Hey, he was like, "Hey, the deed is done."
I gotta say this though, because I know we ain't gonna talk about it. I only get a few opportunities to fan out about this. I absolutely gonna pay big money to see this person and player, and this player in person. Kyrie Irving dropping 60 on nearly 70% shooting.
That's that. It's not 60. It's not 60. It's that.
Did y'all realize that the 41 he scored in a half was so in the flow of the game that it didn't feel like he dropped 41?
Hey.
I rewatched the game just because I knew he dropped it. I was looking for him to shoot it. But in the flow of the game, I was like, dang.
But the problem is that's honestly, dude, first of all, he's fresh legs. He's playing half of a season.
Hey, so that's not on him.
It is on him.
Like that.
He won't get vaccinated. He can't play. So then he plays every other game. And then the thing is, all those guys can do that. It's more about being able to make it all the way through the season without going ham and dang, they're tearing your body up. So I look at it like that's cool.
I don't agree with that. Everybody.
How do you not agree? It's true.
Everybody can't score 60.
Everybody can't score 60.
No,
bro.
Okay. He's still a superstar. I'm not minimizing he's not a superstar. The fact is that he can do that, but that's also based off his availability. He's fresh. He's fresher than most of these guys right now.
Yeah, and at this point, it's stupid because like there's no science to back up him not being on the court anymore. He sat on the like I get it before, right? When you had your the reason you weren't allowing him in the stadium was because you didn't want him to affect the players that were vaccinated and healthy, and there was science behind it and all of that. I'm perfect. Right. I'm here with you. We're in alignment on that. Okay, right. Brooklyn, you made a stance. There's no science on this anymore. Kyrie Irving was on the bench, dang near drinking a beer.
So you're right. He should be there every game. It's silly.
Kyrie he was there the night before at the Duke game.
And this is my problem. With society today, bro. This is my problem with society today. There's no nuance in society today. I understand why the rule is in place. The rule is not in place to hinder Kyrie Irving from playing. The rule is in place because there's a lot of people that are unvaccinated that can go into places in New York City and will say, I don't care. I'm not going to wear this mask. I'm going to cough in your face. But there's no nuance today where you can, like, there should be something in place where, hey, can I put in for an exemption? You know why? Because I play for an NBA team and I'm allowed in the building and I'm allowed on the court and I'm allowed, like, we have to get back to a world where common sense is common. I'm not anti-vax. I'm not none of that. But common sense hasn't been common sense. He can sit on the bench, look KD in the face and say,
he shook the entire team hand.
He shouldn't be in the building. If you need a vaccination card to get in somewhere,
you don't need it anymore in New York.
Well, what I'm saying is that if he's in the building, he can play. It's silly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in New York, he can't work.
Right. It's dumb.
But he can be there. He can't work, but he can be there because he's going in not as a player in those games. He's going in as a spectator. So, like, you know what? I would almost feel better if New York told him, you got to buy a ticket and sit in the stands. I would almost feel better about that. I would because I would be like, okay, now he legitimately has to be a spectator. This man is on the bench with players right here.
Dog, I would be really, you know what would make me happy? If the Nets just said, just go play. What are they going to do? Stop the game?
No, and this is the thing, right? This is
what are they going to do? They're going to fine him $50,000?
This is my problem with it, right? This is my problem with it. They literally just fined them $50,000 for him being in the locker room.
Steve Nash said, I didn't know he couldn't be in the locker room.
No, this is the thing. You fined him $50,000 for him being in the locker room like he wasn't sitting next to all the dudes right there.
Bro,
what is he gonna give him?
So like,
God,
it's just crazy to me though, cause
what change? What do y'all think? First off, bigger question: what do y'all think is going on in the locker room, or what is going on in the locker room that you think he's got more chance of giving them COVID-19 than what's happening on the bench? Like what? Now I got some questions. Now I've got some questions, brother.
Nah, man. I just think it's dumb because when you look at it from a basketball perspective. And the weird thing is, if you go back and look at the last time they played the Magic when he dropped 50, that bro, do you realize the numbers that he put up in the first half yesterday were the same numbers that he shot when he put up 50? Those were the same exact numbers. Those were the same exact numbers, bro.
It's a problem.
If you let him play road games, I need people to understand this. This man is flirting with a 50, 40, 90 season and only played 19 games.
Hey, now listen.
We are getting robbed.
Hey, as a Bulls fan, stay your butt right where you at.
Now.
Hey, as a Bulls fan, stay your butt right where you at. Fam, hey, hold on, because we got to talk about this as well. Hey.
You want the second seed, huh, Steph?
Hey, Ringo, what seed you want over there, my boy?
You want the second seed, huh, Steph? We got receipts.
Hey, we got receipts. Ringo said, I'm never going to admit my team going to get washed. Let me get that second seed, though.
Hey, listen, yesterday was the first time I'm legit looking at the game. I'm just like,
hey, Steph, I want you to realize this too.
We getting one game, and it's not.
They had 6 people in double digits, and he scored.
Man,
6.
I know the stats, bro. Listen, I know the stats. I don't
They put up 150
listen,
points, and KD scored 19.
We are getting.
I'm gonna tell y'all this
game, bro. And then
yesterday,
it's like everybody on my Twitter, bro. That's a Heat fan.
We're getting one game.
We're gonna win the chip.
They got Steph Curry on the bench, Ben Simmons, a defensive plant on the bench.
Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. I had to make the decision yesterday to say I'm just gonna enjoy this season for what it is. Because if that team is 110% healthy,
it's over.
It is Brooklyn's league, and no one else is.
No. It's next over. Season I'm worried about. Everyone's on contract for next season.
But it's not even that. It's the fact that they can add on, bro.
Everybody's coming back.
just imagine them.
No,
those 2 first-round picks into a Miles Turner or something.
Hey, no, not even that. Imagine they actually turn those first-round picks into players in the draft that actually come in and can contribute right away.
Now they got a bridge.
Now they got a young dude to keep them good forever.
They can do what they would try to do with Larry Bird and all the other guys. Just that's how Kareem stayed another 10 years. They get magic.
Oh my God, bro!
This is the part where we have to admit that we could be a really good team, a championship contender,
and we gonna run.
They're just that much better.
We're gonna run into a bus, bro. When I tell you right now, I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, here's the thing, right? A player could come in that the Bulls end up getting, and it changes the game, changes the landscape. But this season, I'm enjoying this.
The only thing that's gonna change this landscape if Bradley Beal go to Philly.
Nah, change the landscape. Hey, listen, you get Jokic to want to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't got nobody around him.
Isn't that the talk? Is that kind of the
That's not. I don't find any real credence in it because European players are very loyal.
Well, why we
European players are ridiculously loyal because they take the mindset of country into their state teams. So you usually don't see a lot of moves. Like Luka Doncic is going to be a Dallas Maverick unless they trade him.
Dude, listen, he owns that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they gave him here. Hello, Luka. These are the keys to the city. Stay here for the next 15 years. Here you go.
Yeah,
buddy.
For sure. But even with that, we've seen. Listen, Houston did that with James Harden. You know what James Harden said? Nigga,
I don't like these strip clubs.
Hey,
I'm out of here.
I don't like these, but the ones
I've seen all these strippers already. I need new variety.
KD can be cooking the way he's cooking for the next 3 years. I give him 3 years of max output before I start worrying about it. Now, mind you, he could be doing this until 39 because he had some years off with his injury, and he keeps himself in good shape.
Depends on what kind of youth comes in. You know what I'm saying? You go get you a young piece that's actually able to be a starter in this NBA and take over and give KD nights off the way that LeBron thought he was going to change his entire mindset to go out there and get. Yeah, dog. No, that's a different dog right there, dog. You could be talking about KD still getting buckets. Y'all realize Mike was getting buckets at 40, right? Like I feel like Muzz look at Washington Wizards Mike and they just be like, "Oh, he was washed up by then." He was not.
Mike was averaging 21 points.
He was a 20-point scorer.
Yeah. Hey,
at 40.
And was still legitimately cooking mugs. Like he said he had to pick his games a little bit more. He said he had to pick his games a little bit different.
What would have been? What if they did trade Scotty for Tracy McGrady?
Well, Charles Oakley, Mike didn't need Scottie Pippen.
You know what? That's the reason why I say that's the reason. That's the reason why I say after watching The Last Dance, everybody came out of it just pissed off by Jerry Krause blowing the team up and destroying the Bulls and blah, blah, blah. I was like, Jerry Krause is very forward thinking.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to overpay for old guys.
Now his worst decision in the world is going to get Tim Floyd. So the nepotism on that was dripping. That hire was dripping in nepotism. Tim Floyd is what? Hey, fam, I didn't realize I told because y'all know we had CD on the show. CD and Tim Floyd was one of CD coaches when he was in college. I was just like, hey, that man was trash. He was like, hey, man, relax off my guy a little bit, bro. That's like a teammate, bro. And I was like, hey, man, your teammate was trash, bro. Like, I don't know how to tell you that, man. He was a trash head coach, bro. Get him out of here, bro. But no,
Hey, I do got a question though. So like the I don't know if y'all looked at the Paul Pierce Gilbert Arenas thing.
Yeah,
I put in the chat yesterday. I had a question for Kid. So in that in that video yesterday, they talked about how James wouldn't be happy. It's all sunshine and rainbows with him and Embiid because right now they're both ISOing, but he wouldn't actually be able to build his game because he can't play off ball. My question is like how long does it actually take you if you've never actually played off ball to actually adjust to play off ball? Because right now he's 32, so they said technically it's too late for him to figure it out, which is another reason why he won't be able to win.
He won't be able to figure it out because it's James Harden. Like, I think it's more the mentality, and when someone shows you who they are, you believe them. James Harden showed us who he is.
He'll be out of there in 2 years.
His game is not going to change simply because of that. And I don't even think it's going to be him being out of there in 2 years because of his decision. I honestly think they're going to move him out. They're going to move him out because he's not going to be as effective. James Harden is one of the best regular season players we've probably ever seen.
We got a lot of regular season players, but playoff.
That's about it.
Hey, I'll tell you right now, he up there with the J.R. Riders of the world because J.R. Rider in the regular season was a bucket. Oh, don't laugh. No, it's no disrespect. J.R. Rider was a legitimate.
No, J.R. was a buck. J.R. was a bucket.
Hey, JR was smart too. He knew when to shut the hell up.
And you know what the problem with this is too? And I don't know where this
I love that.
Hey,
this is going back to what Charles Oakley kind of said about Scottie.
Yeah.
Scottie was the same type of player to me.
As Harden?
Scottie looked really good next to a alpha in really stressful situations. He didn't look that hot by himself. And we always forget that.
Scottie was at the top of the NBA.
I was just interested in that question because when he said that, my immediate thought went to like, how long does it take somebody to like?
It's like kids said, right?
If you've never actually done it.
It's like kids said, right? Like it's the mentality because Kyrie when he was the third option, legitimately when he was the third option. We were trashing him and he couldn't deal with it, right? Like there's a mentality there. Chris Bosh is a Hall of Famer not only because of him winning the championships, the sacrifice he took and being able to deal with the backlash. Mm-hmm. James Harden couldn't deal with the backlash. Vooch is able to deal with the backlash. You think Vooch couldn't average 28 and 11 and 11 on his own team? I've seen him do it.
Right.
But here he's the third option. James Harden couldn't deal with being the third option. James Harden in those games where he was the third option, 22, 11, 7 and 10. That's a great stat line.
I like this right. James Harden technically got the Houston Rockets to the Western Conference Finals.
I mean, well, he's
you know what I'm saying? So like I'm not by me making that statement and that comparison, I'm just talking about the mentality. In high pressure situations, you have proof. There's proof. His story is already done. There's proof. Scottie folded.
Nah, but it very different though, because in
Scotty's from an offensive perspective,
Scottie doesn't have that dog.
This is the thing.
He doesn't.
This is the thing.
I don't think James.
Right? The Bulls are in the NBA Finals again.
I've been on record since the trade.
Now they might not win. They might not win, but that 95 season?
93.
The Bulls are one bad call away from the NBA Finals again. We know that, right?
No, that was the Eastern. They were going to the Eastern Conference Finals. They didn't make it to the Eastern Conference. And then even when Pippen was on the Blazers, they got shorted out of the East. They weren't going to the finals. Because I think the Knicks went and fought. I think they went against the Pacers, and then the Knicks went to the finals against Houston.
We'd have beat the Pacers though.
But the mentality, he's you're right. He's like a 1A.
Yeah, he's a 1A.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's
For
a
sure.
1B. He's a 1B kind of guy. Harden is that same kind of guy. Like, not everybody's gonna be that guy that gets him over the hump.
If anyone here is
But
going to check me on it, it's going to be Jay, because Jay not only was like literally watching the game, but he remembers, like, seriously, they made whole newspaper articles about it.
Yeah,
like, I'm not just making this up. Like, he just wasn't that person. And mind you, he had the same opportunity against a young Kobe, and Kobe cooked him.
Yeah,
he didn't get it. Look at what he did on the Blazers. Because while we sit there talking about Jordan with the Wizards, Scotty went to the Blazers, made a Western Conference run, and came up short in close moments in that series. Look it up.
Houston, he couldn't get it done in Houston. Some guys, you
have
good players.
Couldn't nobody get it done in Houston. Them was
I just think that I think there's a difference between like superstars and all-stars, you know. And I think Scotty is a very good all-star versus like the superstar is James Harden.
I think it's the difference is where do you rank? Where do you put defense in the superstar conversation?
So my thing when Joe when you say that though, my thing with Harden has always been I don't think he's not and I'll say that for me he's not built for it up here because even when you see like how the Nets are looking right now, like the Nets won 5 straight, but when you come out and then you tell somebody, because you didn't give the coach the fair shake in Houston because you didn't want to rebuild, cool, but then you get to the Nets and then it's like, well, this is the one I signed up for because you know Kyrie has been doing this. KD is not really healthy. You made a commitment. Stick to the commitment.
He's not there for team. He there for self.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you upset because I want the ball to stick. I don't want this movement. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. And it's just like you look at the way they doing it now, and it's like the same thing KD said. The report came out when James first got there. I'm trying to rebuild the relationship with KD, this, and this. And you heard them talk about it when they did the All-Star draft. Hey, everybody got what they wanted. I wash my hands clean with the dude. Like, it is what it is. He's not for it. But then you come out and then you see what they say about Ben, like, at least he here. So when he does get here,
I got the same smoke for Ben.
You know,
I got the same smoke for Ben. You wouldn't. James Harden. This the thing though. You wouldn't open the door for James Harden. Opened the door for that. James Harden is the one that, like, everybody want to kill LeBron for moving around. LeBron moved around while signing contracts that allowed him to hit free agency again. LeBron never broke a contract. LeBron never. Now he left his team in some bad situations. he left Cleveland in pretty bad situation, paying Tristan Thompson a lot of money. But LeBron never broke a contract. James Harden said, no, I want to be here in Houston. I want to stick around here. I appreciate y'all. Let's do this thing. Let's keep it going. And then the people around him got the heck up out of there. And he was like, oh, Houston is over. I'm out of here. Everybody here that I liked is gone. I'm not giving this next thing a shot. I'm getting out of here. And to me, that sets up the precedence for the modern NBA that is a problem.
So the underlying factor of all this, even like Korn's comment, I'm not trying to compare the player in terms of their ability. It's more about the mentality and how selfish they are. James Harden, if he left, he was selfish. I don't want to play here no more. I forced my way out. We're talking about Ben Simmons. I don't want to do it. I quit. You breach a contract.
Yeah.
Scotty, I'm not playing 1.7 seconds and he won't let me get the ball. Selfishness. We're talking about that. Yeah. That's the mentality of like, and then when you say, I want to be the leader and the man, and it doesn't happen for you, then it's a problem.
Facts.
So that's the issue that we're talking about. The mentality is like Kobe Bryant said, I want all the smoke. I will put it on my back. I will deal with it. Whether people like me or not, I want to be that dude.
Yeah.
So I will be the ambassador of the league. LeBron is the ambassador league. I think he shortcutted some things, but he takes it. That's all I'm saying is that true leader. Thank you, Jay Crit. Leadership, not being selfish, being able to be that guy. And I just feel that Harden doesn't exemplify that. So now Embiid is the leader for Philly. And so now Harden probably gets to sit in his role, right? And now he's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm still the man, but just let me get my 50 points and then but it's still your show. Yeah. So I don't have to take all the responsibility.
And I think that's the biggest thing for me with Harden, right? Like Harden being able to play being sec. I don't think he's gonna last at Philly long because he's not gonna be able to play second fiddle. Like there's some players that need to be the number one on their team.
Yeah.
Whether you win or not, there's some. You know why Dame Lillard probably doesn't want to go team up with everybody else? Because he knows he got to be the best player on his team. I need to be the number one. This is my team. Can't nobody tell me what to do on my team. This is my team. Guess what? Russell Westbrook need to be the number one on his team. I guarantee you, he go down to Houston next season. They swap them from John Wall. Russell Westbrook can play basketball again.
Yeah, because he's a selfish player that only thinks about himself.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Russ's career is over.
This is the other thing too, Joe. I wanted to get out too. I feel like he had a moment. He had a moment, right? When the Rockets got Chris Paul to take that leadership role, and Chris is telling him like, "Yo, you gotta play defense. You gotta do this. You gotta do that." This is coming from the A1 point. Like this is the dude. If we talking about leadership, this is the dude you want. Hey, you gotta do this. Not doing that.
Didn't he smack Chris Paul's hand away?
Bro, yes. When
Chris was like trying to tell him something, he was like, "Man, get your hand out my face." Like, quit crying.
I was done with Westbrook. I was done with Westbrook when they shot themselves out of that championship with Oklahoma. Like, I'm like, what are you doing? You're literally shooting the championship away. And it's like that selfish mentality. Like, I can't stand that black hole, only think about me type stuff. It doesn't work like that. It is a team game with the egos.
Kind of.
So it's like
it kind of work like that. Like when KD's being the black hole, we don't complain about it.
But it's a defined role. My point is that just what he just talked about.
When Jordan was being the black hole, we ain't complaining about.
But we all know he's the best. My point is that just what Ringo just said. The whole point is if you got the guy, the roles are defined. I'm doing what I need you to stick defense so we can do what we gotta do. No, that's not what I do. We gotta all work.
You gotta be doing it on both ends. You can't if you're gonna have that black hole mentality, you have to understand that you need to get back.
KD is not a black hole.
I didn't say KD. I'm just talking about
better way.
KD is not a black hole by any means.
Said he wanted to be a leader. Hey, when they went and they lost to Brooklyn, you know the first thing he did? Went to the locker room, changed his clothes. Hey, he had the club with Lil Baby and Travis Scott.
Yeah.
But
and that's really what he worried about. He said it in that. He said, I got to be at practice at 6:00 in the morning. But I can't miss this opportunity to see these mugs make trash albums, by the way. Like, let's be real about this, dog. Like, you missing practice to go hear a trash album? Like,
Kobe used to
you're not even hearing the good ones. Like,
you know what I like to hear that even though I necessarily wasn't a fan of Kobe, you would hear those stories where it's like, I'm in the gym, you're at the club. I'm taking this serious and you're not.
That's why he said the NBA was easy. He said dudes come here and they worry about fame, they worry about being out of the club, they worry about money. He said they're not worried about winning.
No.
He said, I could beat y'all. He said in high school, everybody wanted to win a state championship. That was hard.
Yeah. But once you got the money, and that's the problem. Most of these guys are not, the mentality isn't even there. Like then they finally, I want to win when I'm 34 and barely got a knee working because I've been in the league since I was 18 years old.
Yeah, nah. James is one of them. James is one of them. Like to me, that it's.
James has been with the one thing about Paul Pierce saying what he said about him that I agree with too is he said if I played with that amount of talent, I'd have about 5 rings, and I agree with that.
I do. Paul Pierce had no talent on his team.
Paul Pierce would have got busy.
Paul Pierce had no
James Harden has played with
Paul,
the best.
That's the thing. Paul has that mentality. Paul really y'all think Paul be sounding dumb? Paul really believed LeBron didn't cook him. Paul really believes that like he can go head up with the best in the NBA. Paul, like that's a mentality though.
Yeah, but
he did. He did, but he got cooked.
When he got his championship, he dropped 41 on LeBron, like LeBron dropped 43 on him.
Hey, but the Brian 43s come up a little bit more often. hey, the worst one, dog, the worst one to me, and they should have never done this, right? Because I feel like it diminishes how Paul was in people's mind.
Oh, when he said
is when they read off the accolades. But Paul also brought it on himself because he was talking like he had the same accolade.
The problem
but I had to
like a small
remember everybody was like, they thought it was disrespectful when I said Luka plays like Paul Pierce.
No,
I had to go back and look.
Paul, he does.
He plays just like Paul Pierce.
No. But this what happened, bro. He said that, and I'm like, nah, bro.
He shoot better, yeah.
You twinging.
Go look at
the YouTube.
Go look at him.
Watch this.
Same player.
Luka
passed a little
step back.
And let's be real. Luka don't really even pass that much more. Paul had nobody to pass to.
Yes, he did.
Fact.
Y'all gotta understand. No,
he had Antoine Walker.
No, that team was cheeks.
No, I gotta give it to Antoine Walker at the time.
Bro, that team was.
I mean, he had guys.
This is the thing. That Celtics team was all young dudes. And Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce. By the time KG and them got there, Paul Pierce had already beat the heck out of all of them. They literally just talked about it. He was like, do y'all want to be here or not? Because all of y'all cannot be in the NBA tomorrow if we really want to make that decision. So he had already formed that team to the point where they were starting to move as a team and get better.
Yeah.
And then they added KG and Ray Allen.
Right. Well, they traded most of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to say that when he had Joe Johnson on his team with Antoine Walker.
He had some talent.
He had talent.
Yeah. It's not
Joe
like
Johnson was ISO Joe was still cooking people. I don't care what nobody say.
They had they had like Rick Pitino. No, how long was Rick? No, when did Paul Pierce come in the league? I forget. I gotta look this up. Because, see, I remember what was funny was I remember
drafted in 98.
Right. Okay. I do remember the 97 draft when Rick Pitino was there and they were all ready to they were trying to get that number one pick to get Tim Duncan. You talk about
talking about Larry Bird ain't walking through that door. George Mikan ain't walking through that door.
to get Tim Duncan. I remember that so like vividly, and it was like San Antonio got the pick. It's like, what? Because David Robinson was hurt. He had hurt his back or something, and they drafted. It was like, but to see the fortunes of that team change that they had got Tim Duncan. But
by the time he hit his prime, though, I will say there ain't nobody on his squad, dog.
No, I agree that but my point was he's had some talent. He had Walker. He did have Chauncey Billups. He had some. I'm not saying this is world beaters, but clearly it was just interesting that when they get Ray and KG, they were pretty much on the back end, the back nine of their career. But they made it work. But see,
on the back end of his career, he was barely 10 years in.
Who?
Paul Pierce wasn't on the back end of his career. He was not even 10 years in when he got his first ring.
When they all showed up.
Okay, KG was though. And Ray Allen was.
No, KG was.
Right. And Ray Allen was.
I want y'all to understand this, though. I want y'all to understand this. This is the year before they all come. This is the team that Paul Pierce had. Yeah. Paul Pierce, Kendrick Perkins, who was trash at this point. I really want y'all to know.
He was
trash at this point. I'm talking about this is the year that Perkins even says it. Like he says, Paul came in there and said, do you want to be in the NBA or not? Because KG can put you out of the league tonight. And all of a sudden, Kendrick Perkins came in there wanting to fight KG. They had technical fouls off of the tip-off.
I don't disagree with that.
Michael Olenkwande. Dwayne
Jones. Olowokandi?
I can't see it. Hold on.
It's Olowokandi.
The Candy Man was still playing then?
No, that's Olowokandi,
yeah. Hold on. Y'all know I'm blind. Shut up. Couldn't read that name right there. Ryan Gomez.
06. That's it that year.
Ricky Davis.
That was
Mark Blount.
Tony
Allen. Nice to defend. Not gonna get you a bucket. Brian Scalabrine getting buckets.
He had Jared Green.
Hey, Wally Zerbiak.
He fell off. Zerbiak was like,
Hey, he had all of LeBron's hand-me-downs. Delonte West.
ooh, wow, he sure did. Look at that.
Dog, hold on, wait. Whoa,
Hey,
whoa,
shout
whoa,
out to
whoa, whoa.
Delonte West.
How
for the,
about we go
Big Three
stop?
trial,
We
by
gonna
the
put
way.
some respect on Wally Zerbiak's name. My man was averaging 17 points a game. Like
No,
that. Stop
Zerbiak.
playing.
I told you he
Stop
fell off.
playing with. Stop playing with
Hey,
Wally like that, bro.
He fell
Hey,
off though. He was
Stop
a
playing
beast
with Wally
in
like that,
Minnesota.
bro.
Hold up.
Wally was
Let me
giving
tell
it
you,
to
what was Wally?
giving it to
Wally,
dudes most of his
was
career.
averaging a solid 6.3 that year.
In Boston, I'm
Yes.
looking at it. He was averaging 15 points a game.
I'm looking at it right now. 2000 and because Ray Allen comes there in 06, 07, and what's his name comes in. The ticket gets there 07, 08.
Dog, I'm
So
looking at 06, 07, 15 points a game. He gets traded mid-season where he was only averaging 11, but he didn't play that many games then.
nah, bro, I'm talking about the 05, 06 season. This is the year
05,
before.
06, 05, 06, he was in Minnesota making scoring 20 a game.
Bro,
I'm looking at it.
No, bro, I'm looking at it right now.
Wally Zerbiak was averaging 20 points a game.
You know what? I got you. I got you.
Put it on
I
the
got you.
screen.
Don't worry about it.
You gonna put the stats on you like that?
I got you. I'm just.
Oh, they
blind.
have Rafe
They
LaFrance.
gotta be wrong.
Oh, you look okay. 05, 06. Yeah, I'm seeing that. Wow, yeah, Ricky Davis,
I know.
Dan DeCal. I remember all this mess.
But
dude.
because this is the thing, they start putting the team together in the second half of 06, 07.
they blew it up. Yeah.
So Ray Allen was there for like 24, 25 games. Dang, go on the screen. Ray Allen was there for like 24, 25. Let's zoom this in a little bit.
Zoom.
Hey, he do got a career 14 points though. I'm
Okay,
not gonna lie.
apparently this is just gonna cover the screen.
Hey, listen. So I sent it to you in the chat just in case this lags. Go to 05, 06 in mini, and what was he averaging?
Here we go. I'm finna show you right now what he was at. God dang, dogs with the
Hey, he was averaging 19.
In mini, he was averaging 19.
Zerbiak was nice. He just fell off.
I know, yeah, no, he was averaging 19.
Wally Zerbiak right there. Where they at? That's totals. I love that we doing this just on the live. Points per game.
17.5. Shut up talking to me.
06, 07, he was.
I read it
wrong. You gonna take that out.
Hey, 17.5 in early 2000.
Those are Scottie Pippen numbers.
Those are star numbers. Those are all-star caliber numbers.
Those are Scottie Pippen numbers.
I
That's exactly what it was.
hey, I give you that one. I think I was looking at his.
Wally
his
Zerbiak.
Pat, you got to have like the receipts, the website, the transcript. You got to have everything for him.
Hey, you got to prove it to me, dog. I'm not just gonna believe you. Like, hey, you know why? You know why? Because I come from because of y'all generation. Because y'all didn't have the internet, so y'all just this is why. Because y'all didn't have the internet, so if you said something confident enough, Muggs just believed it. So it's stuff that my uncles and dad told me that I didn't fact check and just believed my whole life. And then I started looking at it and I was like, these numbers are not accurate at all.
Hey Jay, that sounds like a him problem.
That's a family problem because my stuff has been I've been pretty consistent with my stuff.
That's that whole generation of y'all, man. Y'all would be confident enough because wasn't nobody finna go to the library or the newspaper to fact check nothing.
No, I
don't know why he thinks 3 to 4 years is such a big difference. Like we grew up with the same internet, dog. Like what are we talking about? Like we grew up with the same. The funny thing is, I mean, he is older. Don't get me wrong. But Joe got more experience with the internet than we all do. Good.
Well, yeah, because he understood it at that point.
What it is that it's just that at the ages, I mean, we were there at the time. Newspaper clippings. Like I used to read the newspaper religiously on the train. Like
we know
before,
huh? I said we know you did.
I'm just saying, but you watched it. You had the newspapers. You kind of committed it to memory to a degree. You were going through all those things. That was our way of digesting any of the information. Now, if you weren't necessarily there, so now you're coming back. You have to use the internet to find all this stuff versus the memory and the technology.
Facts. Now, the one thing I will say about this Boston team that always irked me is that people made it seem as if Paul Pierce was better than Ray Allen. He was not better than Ray Allen. Ray Allen changed his game to go to Boston. But Ray Allen, before he got to Boston, was a top 3 shooting guard in the league.
On the floor.
Hey, Corn, relax, man. We just messing. I threw that out. Actually, I did that to mess with you.
Hey, he was putting the ball on the floor and yamming mugs.
Ray Allen before he got to Boston was 26 points a game.
Bro,
Ray Allen was the guy.
He
He
was
was
Ray Allen
the
was
guy
getting busy,
in
bro.
Seattle.
Ray Allen was a problem.
He's like he's a good player. Like he's almost in the same level as a. I'm not gonna say selfish. He seemed to be a very mature. Ray Allen was always mature to me. I like Ray Allen as a person as well as an NBA player. But he was just a good player versus like he's the guy. I mean, they had a nice run in Milwaukee with Vin Baker and who was the other guy with them? There was like three. It was three of them. Vin Baker and Ray were doing their thing in Milwaukee. But
I just love that. I love that. KG and
I would
Paul
say
Pierce.
Bernard King. No, not Bernard King. Not who am I trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say.
like a good player, all-star, but there's a lot of guys like Bernard King.
Bernard King is a good one.
Who is your
No, Pat knows
is a
what I'm
good
talking
one.
about. We were talking about him, second Bulls player, greatest Bulls player ever. I wouldn't say
Bob
Scott.
Love.
No, it's Bob Love. Bob Love is
Bob
getting
Love.
We
paid.
talking about wasn't Iceman? He was on the Bulls for a
Nah,
while.
Bob Love was getting
Iceman
paid.
was on the Bulls when he was the melted.
He was
Iceman.
old, but yeah.
No, Bob Love. Bob Love. I love Bob Love because like he a little cocky about it too. He'd be like, "Hey, listen, I want y'all to understand. Michael
What
Jordan
about
had to
y'all
break all of my records
Ooh.
for him to become the greatest Chicago Bull of all time." I was like,
Oh.
"Okay, okay, Bob, we see you, my boy."
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Diaz. Yeah, big dog. I'm like, I know I was missing somebody. Yeah, the big dog, Glenn Robinson, Purdue. That was an interesting decline to me with him. Like that man went from averaging almost 30 points a game, goes to San Antonio, and falls off the face of the earth. Like he just had a run.
Woo, you like
done.
that.
The whole
Let me look
face,
at
bro.
that.
Hey, you know who else did that though? Hedo Turkoglu.
Yeah.
How
Bro,
he fell off
Hedo
confuses
Turkoglu
me to
used to
this
be
day.
getting busy. Hey, I'm gonna tell you why Hedo used to be getting busy because that
Steroids.
whole
It was that
that whole
steroids.
run, that whole
He knew the
run
only
where
basketball player I know get busted for steroids, and you actually saw a difference in his game.
Yeah,
No,
correction. He was Glenn Robinson, 20-point scorer, like pretty rookie year all the way through, and then he goes to Philly for 16 points, 04-05 to San Antonio, 10 points, done. 10 years out.
No, Buddy who played on Detroit had to you know, Jay, you know.
Oh, you talking
Buddy
about
who played on Detroit. I say his name all the time
Mark
because I'm
Aguirre.
like
He talking about Mark
Aguirre.
Aguirre.
Mark
Aguirre
Aguirre
was averaging like 35
35
points a game before he came to Detroit.
Well, he came off the bench. He was the NBA scorer in Dallas. And then, hey,
Yeah.
your role is to help us get this championship. So
Yeah. No,
he fit a role.
his drop off was ridiculous. His drop off was like, I think he went from like averaging 25, 26 points a game to like, what was it, like 12 points a game or something like that? 12, 13 points a game? Like he literally was like, yeah, I'm going to change my role.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, he basically became a secondary player because he went from 25, 30. He averaged 30 points a game at 83. And then when he gets to Detroit, 15, 14, 11, 9, and 10. And then they basically just decimated the whole Detroit squad. There was no legacy like, okay, y'all done. Get out of here. You know,
that was definitely interesting. Appreciate you for the rings. Get them out of here. Hey man, we got to update y'all on the bracket, man. How the bracket's doing. Shout out to y'all for tuning in and rocking with us, man.
So the games officially start today, right?
You said what?
The games officially start today, right?
Something like that. I think so. So just want to update y'all on the winners from last week. And we still got one game that's going to happen. We're going to post that today. Remember the Titans beating out Invictus? I'm pretty sure we all expected that. He got game beating out Glory Road for me was surprising.
I told you. Mug seen the uncut version and it was over.
You know, the uncut version. It was Glory Road.
Glory Road was a great movie.
Glory Road was a great movie though.
The Replacement beating out Pride of the Yankees. Not really a shock there. I feel like you got Pride of the Yankees, an old movie.
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday beating out Rocky 5. Not a surprise there for me.
Nope, not a surprise.
Nope.
Blindside beats out Seabiscuit.
Not a surprise.
Seabiscuit was a great movie. And that was a closer matchup than a lot of people thought it was going to be. I'm not going to lie to you. Seabiscuit was giving it a run for the money for a little bit. Slapshot beating out 8 Men Out just barely.
I would have picked 8 Men Out. Wow. Okay.
Dog, I'm telling you, there's some upsets in this joint, dog. Like there's some ones where it was like interesting.
I'm shocked. No,
Right.
this is a shocker. We Are Marshall lost to Bad News Bears.
We Are Marshall lost to
Wow.
Bad
Throw this
News
whole bracket
Bears.
away. Throw it all
upset
away.
is here. The upset
He
is
said,
here.
"Throw it
my
all
boy.
away."
Throw it away.
He hate the whole bracket, bro.
Wow.
What else we got? Rocky 3, of course, getting through past Talladega Nights.
Well, Moneyball won. Rocket, man. See, you said that, man. That was bogus, man. You can't put Talladega Nights in
Hey,
there.
listen.
They
There's gonna be some. It wasn't a blowout. And here's the thing:
no, it's not fair.
the seeding doesn't matter if you put your movie through.
Pat, if you ain't first, you're last. My daddy taught me that.
Well, don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Longest Yard beating out Days of Thunder. I wasn't really shocked by that.
No doubt.
The Rookie beating out Chariots of Fire. Wasn't shocked by that. Space Jam beating out Coach Carter. I was a little more shocked by that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm shocked by that.
No,
Space Jam Space Jam is a cult classic, and my brother was like, "Yeah, it's some of them cult classics is gonna do it for you, dog. Like you're not gonna beat them." League of Their Own beating out Best of the Best.
I like League of Their Own. I ain't gonna. That's actually
League of Their Own was cold.
Hey, by the way, remember the Titans won so big it was 99% to 1.
99% Rotten Tomatoes.
I want to know who the one was. And then Angels in the Outfield beating out Brian's Song. Fam, Brian's Song was not good.
I never wanted to watch that.
No, I never seen it.
Creed 2 beating out Like Mike just barely, y'all. When I say just barely, I mean that mug was close the entire time. I thought Like Mike was gonna move on. I'm telling y'all,
this must be like the youngest. How old is this demographic? Because
hey, bro, most of our demographic is in our age range, bro.
That's crazy.
Most of our demographic by the numbers is in our age range.
What's the bottom one? I can't see who won. What was Gridiron Gang against who?
Gridiron Gang went up against Field of Dreams.
What?
Gridiron Gang beat out Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams should have won. All right, whatever.
Let me see. I'm trying to get the number. By the way, Bad News Bears beat We Are Marshall 70 to 30%.
What?
What else we got?
He really got to throw it away now.
Hey, he mad. He big mad.
That's Denzel.
He big mad.
Wow.
Let's go to the other bracket, man. Let's get to the top here. Let's get to the top here. Sandlot's going a long way, dog. I'm sorry.
Sandlot. I wouldn't be surprised they make the Elite 8 Final Four, definitely.
No, dog. They might make the finals, dog. I don't think I realized how big of a cult favorite Sandlot is. Like I thought, of course, we all love the movie. Bro, Sandlot destroyed Hoop Dream.
My kids I just let them watch that like recently. They love that movie. Yeah,
what else we got? Rocky beating out Caddyshack.
Of course.
I wasn't surprised. I was surprised by how big it beat it out.
Wow.
42 beating out Blue Chips.
I didn't like that one. I felt that wasn't fair. Whatever. You could have swapped.
But Blue Chips is the one with Shaq and Penny.
Shaq, Penny. Come on, man. That was.
Hey man, that formed one of the greatest NBA duos.
Like that movie formed the 95 Magic. 94,
you know what I'm
95 Magic.
Happy Gilmore beating out Space Jam 2.
That's fine.
I expected that.
This
Little
one
Giants
here,
beating out the Natural.
Throw
Little
this
Giants with the upset.
Throw it all the way out. I might as well just leave.
Come on,
the
bro.
Little Giants with the upset.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We already got the Sandlot's already the best kid baseball story movie. Period.
Whatever. Hey, you gotta vote it through, dog. You gotta vote it through. Promote for your stuff, dog. Rocky 4 beating out Secretariat.
Oh, We Are Marshals. Oh, We Are Marshals with Matthew McConaughey. What was Denzel's movie?
Remember the Titans.
That's what I'm thinking.
Remember the Titans was number one. They won. Remember the Titans was.
I apologize. I thought that was the Denzel movie. My fault. Okay.
No, Rocky
so
We Are Marshals still a better movie.
Now this one, right? We're gonna post this one today. We got For the Love of the Game going up against Ali because I had put it in wrong. So I'm gonna post this one today. We'll let it go through till Friday, and then we'll start all the new bracket this weekend.
I have to go for Ali. It's just Ali.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ali.
it's
I
Ali.
think Ali's gonna get the upset here. Ali only in the 10 spot here because I put Chariots of Fire twice. Draft day got worked out by dodgeball.
Hey, the 5Ds, baby.
Draft day. I'm not gonna lie to you, right? I really thought draft day was gonna I didn't think they were gonna dominate them, but I thought they was gonna win. Them getting beat by dodgeball was interesting to me.
No,
Then you got Hoosiers beating out Air Bud.
That's fine.
It was it was close.
Really.
It was close. When I tell you these cult favorites get the vote, dog. Cool Runnings getting beat by Rocky 2. Rocky's gonna make it a long way in this whole thing.
Yeah,
Cinderella
Rocky.
Man with the upset over Bull Durham.
That's okay. I didn't have a
Nah.
Miracle on Ice beats out Kingpin.
I love Kingpin. They got some funny scenes.
Bro, to me, Rudy was just.
Yeah, but it was going up against Vision Quest.
Yeah, but he put if he swapped the other one with Vision Quest, that would have been better because nobody cared about Rudy.
I don't think Rudy's gonna make it far because Karate Kid worked out Friday Night Lights. Karate Kid worked out Friday Night Lights, though.
Yeah, we know. Karate Kid was all about getting your confidence up and beating the bully, man. That's
Waterboy beat Ford versus Ferrari, which immediately invalidated the bracket for Kid.
No, that's fine. That's not.
And then White Man Can't Jump beats Major League, who I thought was
that's
gonna
upset.
I don't know. That's tough. That's
an upset to me. I thought that was gonna be one that went far, dog. I thought that was gonna be one that went far.
Tough.
So that's the update on the bracket.
White Man Can't Jump is.
White Man Can't Jump is a great movie, but I absolutely thought that Major League would have more of a cult following than any of them. So that's the update on the bracket, man. We will keep y'all updated. I will post the Ali versus For the Love of the Game today. We'll vote on that through the rest of the week, and then this Friday we will start our the second round of the bracket. What is that? The round of 32 for the bracket. Kid in there, y'all tripping. Hey, that's funny.
Ford versus Ferrari is the best movie on this list. Stop playing with me.
But no, man. Hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us as always, man. Shout out to y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. We'll also be following all the free agency signings. Free agency starts at 3:00 Central. So we'll follow all the signings and stuff like that that's going on. Apparently, Tommy's not happy with something. So we'll check that out as well. We appreciate y'all for showing love. For your boy, Pat the Designer, we got the super producer, Joel Hope. And the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan, the Dino Chicago. Y'all stay safe out there, man.